Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniatures, and I've got a super obscure box in front of you today. We have the Tactical Unit Commander Aircraft Genesis from Infinite Dimension. So, let me just state, because I've said it before, I'm not a big fan of transforming mecha, and you'll notice we already have a very Zeta Gundam inspired thing going on here. Bit of a Zeta, a bit of an S Gundam, but as far as I can tell, as I knock over my little World of Tanks guy, this sucker is completely original. Now, obviously, like I said, there are definitely some design similarities and inspiration there, but as far as I can tell, this is, and I mean, at least design-wise, this is absolutely unique. Totally new, totally original, and for that, I love the fact that we have people doing full-on Gundam-style mecha out of China. This is a totally, wholly original, and I mean, yeah, it's obviously inspired by, like, Kotoki's designs, but I'm okay with that. If I can figure out which way it goes. Yeah. So it's got the big cannon. Got pistols, and it's got these funky transparent parts all over it. I thought that was kind of cool. Something very different. Alright, I'm going to open it up. I don't even know what to expect in here yet. I haven't opened it yet. Alright, let's see what we got. Whee! Obviously a lot of parts. I'm just going to start dishing them out and let you guys see. A lot of these are duplicates, but we got blue parts. We got gray parts. We got black inner frame parts. More of that. And more. And guns and stuff. And some nice bright colored parts. The red and orange translucent stuff. And armor. And more armor. And frames and armor. And more black parts. And more colored parts. And a bunch of tiny screws. A big, fat base. Wow. I mean, this is like master grade size and quality, I'd say. Maybe real grade. I'm not going to go through every individual part with you guys. I'll spare you that expense, but we will take a look at the printed materials, because that is what I enjoy. Alright, so what do we got here? Stickers, decals, bag that won't open. Sasquatch-like arms. Okay, what's... Okay, it's stuck. I'm not sure what this plastic film is for. Maybe it was just the backing for the decals. That's nice. Appreciated. Keep that handy. Here's what we really want to see. Get a nice view of the instruction manual. It's thick. And there is no Japanese. That's okay. Can't think of whose artwork that reminds me of. I do like the extra wings on it. So we have it all broken down by body parts. We do have English instructions with everything. Breakdown of all the various runners. An index, that's kind of nice and appreciated, for all 13 sections. And a breakdown of exactly which sprue you need with the pictures. Why can't I think I've ever seen that before? This is like a first for me, but that seems like such a common sense thing to do. So, very cool to see from Infinite Dimensions. And I want to say this is their first kit that they've released, so I think they're starting off with a bang. I don't recall if I saw any polycaps in there. I'm going to go back and double check. It's a lot of decals. I mean, even that pose is vaguely S-Gundamish, and the gun with the the radar dome thing there, yeah. But that's okay. I don't know. It looks like a lot of fun. Looks like it's going to be complicated, and it's going to take a while. So, it may be a while for me, at least, before we get this done. But fingers crossed everything goes well. I'll give you guys a rundown on how the build goes. We'll see how it looks. We'll see how it compares to some other models I may have handy, and hopefully we all are pleased with the results. So, sit tight. Okay, we've got the Genesis all put together here. And I gotta say, there is a lot going on, but I'm really pleased with how it all turned out. As I was going through the process of putting him together, I really felt like things seemed loose, things seemed strange how they fit together. But you know what? In the end, it actually really worked. There is just a lot of cool detail going on him. Now, I do have to admit that those wings of his do make him kind of top heavy. So be aware. And you know that backpack actually is removable, I believe. Somewhere, somehow. There's a lot of flexibility in terms of all the boosters, the positioning of everything. You know, there's a lot you can kind of goof around with. I would assume, yeah, that the tail there is, you put it into waverider mode, is adjustable as well. I don't even remember how the backpack attaches now. Sadly, the instructions are somewhere else. Oh, that's right. It's got a whole hinge joint. I forgot about that. Interesting. That's probably to necessitate the waverider mode. And there's actually locks right in there to get the backpack hooked in. And I did the thing that I keep on doing, and that is knocking off little bits here and there of his. Unfortunately, due to me not putting any glue yet, little things do like to flop off. I feel like the waist joint is a little weak, and I don't know if that's just due to his bulk on his back or what. But that's like the only real downside. There's lots of little folding pegs and joints everywhere. Joints are actually really nice, really crisp, really good. No complaints there. Really solid construction on the feet. Like I said, all the various fins and bits are quite posable. Is this the guy that has the swing out? Yeah, you can actually pull out the waist armor to accommodate posing or transformations, one or the other, I don't remember which. There's a good wide range of motion in his legs, and I want to say that they actually have a metal frame version coming out in the near future of this, like a collector's version. And while that would probably be a little bit pricier, I'd say that's probably a pretty solid investment as well. If you do like this figure's design, that's going to bring in a lot of bulk. I just finished working on another kit with a inner metal frame, and I got to say that really, really impressed me. I hadn't done that before. I mean, he holds a pose pretty well. He does have his fully integrated base. I don't have it handy. And for the most part, you know, at least in robot mode, he hasn't really needed it anyway. I think the only thing really to be aware of is the fact that, like I mentioned, those wings are going to be a bit of a posing issue just because of their weight. Also, those little antennae of his, those horns, are quite delicate they do like to get knocked out of position pretty easily. So be aware of that being an issue. But otherwise, I mean, I don't think I broke anything, but I didn't mention the fact that there is a ridiculous, and I mean ridiculous, amount of undercuts on this figure. You see a piece on that sprue, you are going to be snipping out little hidden bits on the bottom. 100% guaranteed. There is a ton of it. So while that is a bit time consuming, you know, it does give it a nice overall clean look. And I do really like all of the various translucent bits on it. I'm kind of annoyed that I actually went with the orange on his shield. Just attaches to the arm. I'm not going to mess with it right now. He doesn't have a whole lot in the way of accessories. There's that, and then there's his big flashy railgun. Again, with the viewfinder pod, gives me a bit of a S Gundam vibe. Actually, a lot of it gives me an S Gundam. It's like a mix of the S with the Zeta, for lack of a better comparison. But it works. You know, I like that we're seeing something different done. I'm not a big fan, as I've said before, of just wholehearted, you know, knockoffs and bootlegs. There is that interesting gray area of when model designers come up with, you know, resizing and upscaling and redetailing of previous existing kits. I think that's kind of cool and interesting. I don't know if we'll see much of that on this channel, though. I'm not a big fan of paying the prices for that, you know, based on somebody else's work, which is a bit hypocritical considering I like a lot of, you know, homage-type figures. But I digress. I don't know if this is actually scaled 1/100th. I can't remember. Maybe if you watch the first part of the video, because I haven't since I filmed it and since I built this. But you can see there's a pretty good difference there in size. Grabbing just a few of the models I had handy at the moment. So, you know, at the price point they're offering it at, I'd say it's a pretty good deal. I'm curious to see, as I said, what they're going to be offering the metal frame upgraded version for, and I believe they've already started to announce new models in a similar line. So, you know, all they can really do is go up from here, and I'm pretty impressed with the overall build quality of what's on display here. I mean, there's just, you know, there are a lot of fiddly bits, but for the most part, they stay where they need to. You know, I did knock off that one there, but you know, half the fun of these kinds of kits is to goof around and mess around with it. And I think if you've got the base handy and you want to get him into some interesting poses, I think it is absolutely doable. Sadly, there isn't anything in the way of close combat weapons. There are the pistols back here. And I don't remember. Okay. That's how they come off. And then you just unfold that, and I'm not sure what this little yellow piece is. It just slides in underneath. Flashlight, viewfinder, I don't know. It's on the bottom too. That's what's weird. And it's not like a really firm fit. But it's there. And it does that. So, I guess that's something. And it does have its waverider spaceship airplane mode, which, to be perfectly honest, I have absolutely no interest in, and I am probably not going to bother with. You know, I'm sure there's other people that have videos of this guy up there. You're welcome to go track those down. I'm sure they did a better job explaining it, and I'm just fiddling around with it. But, you know, I would say keep your eyes peeled. I got it for a fair price, under, I think I paid about 60 US. I mean, for me, that's comparable to a Master Grade kit, and for the amount of work that went into this thing, I'd say that's a pretty fair price for what you end up with. Solid construction, really good posability and movability. I mean, I guess if I took everything off, there is going to be a bit of an inner frame there, like some of those classic Master Grade kits as well. So this is the company's first official model with this group. I remember reading online that they've had some hands in doing other kits, and it really isn't surprising. So I gotta say, we'll probably be seeing more from these guys in the future on this channel. Definitely, if you're a fan of Gundam, Gunpla type kits, keep your eyes peeled for this Genesis. So with that said then, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.